Hi, I'm Yugi123445, and here's my idea about the September 2011 ban list. Well, I'm gonna take out some cards to show, obviously. Now, what I believe to be in the new ban list, I think is pretty fair to say, because I think it's pretty balanced, and most people will be happy with it. I wonder if any of the cards in here. Okay. Anyway, so let's start off with the obvious. Everyone is annoyed by Librarian. Librarian in my list is going to be banned. So let's just start this off here. Okay. So, Librarian banned. Dandy also banned. Mindmaster, there is an OTK with it. It's really annoying. It's consistent. It's kind of like Fish OTK, except you don't need whatchamacallit, Super Ancient King Goliath. You just need Mindmaster and this other psychic guy that I don't remember. It's really powerful. It's consistent. You can it's summons. Well, this version. There's other versions. This one summons every single Laturious Synchron monster in one turn, including Librarian. And if it pulls off, which it can easily, all it needs is like E-Telly or this other, once again, the other psychic I can't remember. And it's really annoying and it's really powerful. So Mindmaster is probably going to get banned. It's in Japan, so don't worry about that. I have a reason for it, aside from the fact that it's consistent and annoying, blah, blah, blah. Future Fusion has a possibility of being banned because there are some very easily made strategies with that as well. However, I doubt it. It's just an idea. Continuing for limited, Trishula, obviously, that's like the most obvious card. Everyone knows it's gonna be limited. There's no question for that. Lonefire, that's definitely get limited. The plant engine has been here for a few formats, and it's far too consistent. And okay, it's not far too consistent. It can be easily maneuvered, but so can a lot of things. You should give it some time. And the plant engine's been here for too long, I guess. Anyway, the next card, Fishborg. I do not have one on me right now. But yes, Fishborg is another card that needs to be limited because of the Frog Monarchs, Fish OTK. There's another Fish OTK aside from Super Goliath with the Synchros. Then in Japan, Blackwings are still raping. I'm not entirely sure why. I think they're running the Vayu Turbo with the Doom Callies and the Archlord. It's super powerful over there, and over here in America, it's like almost non-existent. So I don't really see how that's going on there, but I think Blackwings are going to get raped again, except Vayu this time. Now, what I would like to see happen is that it looks like they're going to touch Vayu, but not Sirocco. I think they're going to limit Vayu, but if they were to do that, I'd hope they would bring Kalut back to 2 at least, because at least Blackwings are still playable to a point. I mean, Vayu in the original Blackwing build, people ran 1 to 2 anyway, and they ran 3 Kaluts and 3 Shuras, 3 Boras, or 2 Boras and 3 Siroccos or 2 Siroccos, stuff like that. So it would make it somewhat playable again, but not the super broke sauce it was. Or maybe keep Kalut at 1. Never mind. It's just an idea. Another card I think will be limited. Double-edged sword technique. Samurais, although not so much in America now, because of all the Tengus, which not gonna get touched. I'm sorry to say that's American exclusive. Though Konami might have done some stuff in the past that did American cards. It's not been showing up lately, so Tengu's probably still gonna be at 3. Unfortunately. So That's gonna be here in America still. But Six Samurai in Japan has still been really popular. So one of those upper top tiers. You know how Frognarks were tier 0, like I think 2 formats ago, and so it's kind of up there. I mean, it's not tier 0, obviously. 6Ms are never going to be tier 0. They're always just really high up there. But it looks like I think Double Edge is going to be limited. And Luster Soldier Envoy at the beginning, that has some speculation about being reprinted. I mean, not reprinted. It's been reprinted. Speculation of coming back. But the only way that's going to come back if Chaos Sorcerer is going to go back to 1. Because 2 Chaos Sorcerers and Luster Soldier Envoy at the beginning is still too broke sauce. So if you just have those 2, at least it's somewhat balanced. And then Heavy Storm, if we go back to what we did with Heavy Storm Limited and MST Limited, I think everyone will be happy with that. I mean, come on. All these back rows, I mean, these are not spells and traps, but let's say these are 4 back rows. This is really, happens a lot. All these back rows, and it's really annoying. It's just, I mean, you can get over it with 2 MSTs and a giant Trinade, or if you have Mobius, Caius, or whatever you got. It's still just an annoying thing to deal with, and people are just spamming all those back row. Now continuing, I don't have a Faultroll, unfortunately. The Faultrolls also should be limited because X-Sabers, although not as popular as it was, it's still extremely powerful. And if you limit Faultroll, at least that will balance the entire deck out. Because if you have 2 Faultrolls, you can do that infinite loop and do all this other junk and crap like that. So if you leave Faultroll at 1, X-Saber is still powerful, just not broken. So what I'm trying to do is make things less broken, but still powerful enough to continue to duel, fun. Like let's stop the broken. 6M United needs to be limited. It's their pot of greed. They're better than pot of greed, sort of, because you got 1 gateway, you got 1 United, pop them both on the field, summon twice. Well, you got 6 counters already. Then you're going to sync and do all this other crap. So United needs to be at 1. I don't know why I'm doing this, but whatever. United needs to be at 1. And Archlord Kristya, that's being reprinted. That's a free Royal Oppression. Except it doesn't destroy the monsters. So just saying that no matter what, the monster cannot be special summoned. It's a huge beat stick. I mean, it can be stopped, but it also can easily be taken back. Now, for semi-limited, I definitely believe Formula should be semi-limited. If Librarian is banned, then Formula is not as broken as it is. It's still pretty annoying because you can sync during either turn. You draw a card, and with Shooting Quasar coming out, and Tengu's still alive in America, not in Japan, but Shooting Quasar is going to be pretty annoying to deal with. But with 2 Formula Synchrons and Librarian ban, I think it's still possible to keep it somewhat playable. And then Smoke Signal and Shien, I believe both of those should also be semi-limited. If those are semi-limited, the accessing power of the 6 Samurais isn't too broken. With United limited and Shien semi-limited, they don't get as many Shiens. They get decent but efficient enough draw power and accessing power, and well, they're not broken. They're as broken. They're like really well playable and barely touching broken. And then I believe Lightsworn deserve a second chance. I mean, Lightsworn has been seen in play every single format ever since Lightsworn started. However, it's not real Lightsworn. It's Raikou, mainly Raikou, and occasionally Charge. But I'm talking about like legitimate Lightsworns. Lightsworns need to come back, or I believe they will have a second chance. I think Lumina will go back to 2, and Gardna will go back to 2. And because Lightsworns as now is still playable, but not as, not fast enough, or it doesn't have enough protection. Just a lot of stuff going on. And then Pot of Avarice. Now that card definitely should be at minimum semi-limited. People have been speculating about getting it banned, limited, or not touching it. I think it should be semi-limited at the least, limited at the most, because Pot of Avarice is our only recycle card. Without it, the game would be really slow-ish. Well, the Tengu decks would be slower. Let me rephrase that. They wouldn't be able to do all those plays. So, yeah, I think semi-limited would be good. Limited at most. Banned too much. Unlimited, preferably semi. Dweloren. That in Japan has, once again, that fish thing. I forgot. I'm forgetting right now what it is, but there's a really fast and powerful thing they do with synchros and beat 6 and crap like that. But in order to do it, you need 3 Ice Kings or whatever and stuff like that. And then Book of Moon, especially with the new Exceeds and new synchros and all this other stuff coming out, I think it needs to go back to 2. Because with all this special summoning negation that's there, that's all fine and stuff, but Book of Moon does a lot more, and it's, I think, a pretty necessary card. Let's see, what's another card? I think that's all for semi-limited. And then for unlimited, Magical Stone Excavation, because that's like seen no play at all. People have been talking about Black Rose. I don't think Black Rose is going to be touched. They keep talking about how he's super powerful and he's done a lot of crazy shenanigans, and it's really annoying about blowing up the field and stuff. However, I disagree. I've rarely seen any explosive Blackwing plays that consistent. And with all the plant stuff being to banned or limited, aside from Spore and Glow Up, Debris won't be as annoying, and Lightsworn should have another chance with this. And with if Book of Moon does come back at 2, and all the other decks already have a chance to do stuff, Lightsworn should come back to tier 1. All the other decks should still be powerful enough to battle Lightsworns. All the decks should be able to battle 6 Samurai a lot easier now, without all the puppet plants and all the stuff. You still need it. It just won't be as necessary. And then plants, Tengu builds won't be too broken, especially since Librarian in this case would be banned. And then Duality, I don't believe will be even touched because it's a balanced card. You don't get to special summon. It is a setup card, but with all the new players coming in and Legendary Collection 2 coming out, I think it's something they would keep. And I'm looking at the OCG decks, and not all of them are running 3, more like 1, maybe 2. Some of them run 3, but not a lot of them. And I think it'll stay at 3. And warning, I also think it'll stay at 2, because even though it's, especially with Duality at 3, it's going to be really easy to get out, sort of. But there's still a lot of counters to it, like Obvious Decree, 7 Tools, Dark Bribe. The very rarely seen Jinjo. Jinjo is just because of trap negation. It's easy to stop, but it's also, I understand why people are annoyed by it, but it's not a solemn judgment. It's not as broken, aside from the fact you pay less life points depending on where you are. Mainly at the beginning of the game, it's less life points. But what I'm trying to say is, a warning, I think it's still going to stay at 2. The rest of the list, I believe, is playable. It'll balance the game out. Especially, I'm even talking about the new pack coming out. Even with all those new cards, I think it's still very playable, and it'll work well. Thanks for watching. And before I end my video, there is one more card I want to talk about. Dark Highlander. This card, when it's on the field, neither player can Synchro Summon. Yeah, Synchro Summon, not Special Summon. So it's not broken as Kristya, but it's but no one can Synchro Summon. So